Hello, everyone. This is Audrey Washington, your money and credit coach. And I am coming to you live today. I am in the evening today. I think I'm going to switch to the evening. So, sorry I didn't post anything saying that I was going on live, but here I am. So, I want to talk to you, just remind you again, as I have been doing for a few weeks. But before I jump into that, I hope everyone is doing well. I know we have been many months into, kind of this new normal, even though it might not be feel normal for most people. Was having a conversation today with a friend of mine, and we were just talking about, not being able to move around like we, wanted to, especially during the summertime where, we get out and about and have a lot of, social gatherings. And so for sure, this summer has been different. I mean, and as we blink, I think next week is like the end of August, and summer is actually coming to a close. And we haven't done a lot of things that we normally would do, haven't been able to spend time with family and friends. So I really want to, just, tell everyone, just hang in there, hang in there. Stay focused on the good things. Obviously, we're healthy and we're safe and we're doing, for the most part, we're doing well. And so just hang in there. It's definitely different. I don't think that we will get back to where we were probably, but hopefully things will start to, you know, do better in terms of, people getting sick and passing away, that, at some point we will be able to, you know, connect like and have time together like we have in the past. So I'm definitely missing it for myself, but I just, I'm kind of giving myself the same uh, words that I'm giving you. Just hang in there. Hang in there. So, again, I've been talking about the census, and there are census. I know about three people that are helping to work with the census. So please complete your census if you haven't done so. That they have been out since the census mailing. They mailed the information out and started talking about it in April. And when I got mine, I completed it. It took about 5, maybe 10 minutes. Obviously, the more people you have in your household, you have to list their names and so forth. But I would say 15, 20 minutes tops to complete it. So please complete it. We need the money, that the funding that will come as a result of our census numbers. The more numbers we have, the more funding that we'll receive. And so please, it's very important. I don't have the link in front of me right now, but I have posted that a few times about what the census helps us do. So please make sure you complete your census. The next thing is vote. I'm really encouraging people to vote, and so please vote in your state primary. Primaries today are in Florida, so I'm a little late. Usually I do it in the mornings, by noon. So Wyoming, um, next week, um, August 25th, is Oklahoma primary. Okay, so please make sure you're voting. Please also make sure, just make sure you're voting. There's a lot of conversations around the election and mailing in, and so just kind of pay attention to what's going on with that in your area. Some states are having ballot boxes where you could just kind of drive up and pop the mail-in ballot in the box. So just check with your state on how they're handling the voting process. So hopefully you kind of know, but it may change for the general election, which is in November. But hopefully, I want you to just check with your state. So today, let's get into our money talk for today, and I am talking about financial legacy. Financial legacy. So I've been talking about financial legacy for a few years now. I think that I started talking about it, I want to say 2017, 2018. I usually try to have a theme for the year. And that was my theme for, like I said, I think it was 2017 or 2018, where I was talking about financial legacy, right? And financial legacy really is just about, are you able to leave something for future generations in terms of money, right? In terms of money or something that has a financial value. Really, it's about that. So it could be the actual money, but it also could be something that has financial value. And so as you are looking to prepare yourself financially, please start to also think ahead, right? And you might not be able to do anything about it today, but start to think about what financial legacy you want to leave for future generations. And I do want to make sure I clarify and tell people that even if you don't have children of your own, sometimes people immediately think financial legacy, I'm leaving it to my children. I don't have children. And so think about it. It could be children, right? But it also could be, it could be your children if you have them. It also could be children in your family, children in your community, but it actually doesn't have to be children at all. It could be a cause that you're passionate about. But in this conversation that I'm talking about, in the social media posts that I'm doing this week, are about your family, right? So it could be your kids, it could be like I said, it could be nieces and nephews, things like that. So the first tip I want to talk about, and I'm sorry, I'm definitely typing and talking. The first one is financial education. So if you are hanging out with me today, of course, you are getting financial education. And so this actually is extremely important because this actually starts not just you, but future generations on the path to start to discuss and think about money and finance, right? Oftentimes we don't talk about money and finances, but the starting point is the financial education. Okay, so financial education. All right, the next thing is life insurance. Okay, so life insurance. So if you think about life insurance, think about putting life insurance in three categories. The first category, and let's say this is based on the money that you have. So the first category is, having enough life insurance to bury yourself, right? That's really the minimum that you should have. That's the minimum that you should have, is enough life insurance for your burial, okay? Then when you can add to that, there should be enough to cover any debts that you have, right? And then the third layer for life insurance can be about financial legacy, right? So you can actually use life insurance as a way to leave money. Now, you might be thinking, oh, I don't have a lot. Well, even if you can leave 10,000, 25,000, if you have taught whoever you're going to leave that money to about finances and financial legacy, they manage it wisely, that can actually grow. Okay, so that's the second thing, is life insurance as a way to leave financial legacy. The third thing is real estate. Real estate, right? So we know that more often than not, real estate properties appreciate in value, right? So they earn value over time. And so if you think about it, that is actually typically a great way to, leave a financial legacy. So if you can leave property, right? And obviously the best way to leave property is a property that's free and clear of a mortgage, right? So if it's paid off, or it can be paid off as a result of your passing, maybe through some life insurance or things like that, that's like the best way. But even if you can't leave it mortgage free, you can leave it, but you got to pay attention when you're leaving a property or properties to someone. You got to make sure that whoever you're leaving it to can manage it, right? And this happens a lot. When I've worked in the field of foreclosure for a number of years, this happens a lot when a parent passes away, and they might have 2, 3, 4 children, and they say, okay, I'm leaving the property to all my kids. Well, now it becomes a situation where the kids have to navigate that, and more than likely not all four of those children might not be in a position to be able to manage that property, right? Because even if the property is free and clear, I've seen many people lose properties just on the taxes, right? Just on the taxes. So you got to make sure that the family that you leave the property to is able to maintain it so that that legacy can continue. But that is a way to do so. All right, so you got real estate. The fourth tip is stocks and bonds, right? So start to think about, sometimes we spend a lot of money on kids, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, buying them, toys and clothes and things that they like. But I'm also saying, think about, can you leave them, stocks and bonds? So if they like a particular toy or game, can you buy them stock in that company, right? I know when my nephews were younger, my parents would also always, for their birthday and for Christmas, they would buy them a savings bond, right? And so they're young. They didn't understand what a savings bond was. They get this piece of paper, nothing, in the card. My mom would put it in a card or something. And then she would always, put a couple dollars in there. She might put $5 in there. And so, of course, when they were little, they were very excited to get the $5. Weren't thinking about the savings bond. It's just like, oh, what is this? But let me tell you something. When they got ready to go to college, they were looking for those bonds to cash them out so that they could use them. So they understood the value at that point. So again, even though they might not understand, this is a teaching time for children. Try to think about those things. Buy them a stock, a share of stock. So, maybe it's whatever you can afford. So think about that, stocks and bonds as a financial legacy. That's definitely something that you can leave. The last tip number 5, is a business. So maybe you start a business that will have longevity that can pass down to future generations, right? So I don't know off the top of my head any that come to mind, but there are many, right, businesses, and I mean still privately held businesses in the family. It could be a restaurant, it could be a cleaning service company, it could be product, maybe you're it's a bakery, something like that. So think about that. Is there a business that you can groom people into? And again, it doesn't have to just be the people in your family. It could be extended family, it could be community, right? So maybe you start a business that trains plumbing, right? I'm gonna just throw that out there. That's something that you always need, right? So maybe it's a plumbing business, and maybe you decide that you're going to employ at-risk youth, right, to learn how to do plumbing. And over time, somebody, I'm sure, will show up as a leader that could potentially take over the business. So think about a business. So those are my 5 tips talking about financial legacy today. Again, I'm Audrey Washington. I'm your money and credit coach. Like, share, and comment this video about financial legacy. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what other financial topics you might want to have me talk about on Money Talk. Okay, so take care, everyone. Have a great night. And thanks for watching and hanging out with me today. Bye-bye.